What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday morning Comically Boston podcast. This week we're going to be talking about the weekly nerdy news, as I do every Monday. And this was a pretty jam-packed week for news, so let's jump right into it. The Godzilla director, more particularly Godzilla -1 director, Takashi Yamazaki, he was given a whole bunch of offers to direct a whole bunch of things. Rumors had it was like, Jurassic Park or some sci-fi stuff. Maybe probably Star Wars offered him a job. But instead, he decided he is going to be making a new Godzilla movie to follow the success of Godzilla -1. And if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, it's on Netflix now, and it's phenomenal. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm not a Godzilla person. I promise you, it's not like the Godzilla Kong movies, the Hollywood version. This is like going back more to those traditional Japanese roots, and this movie was exceptional. One of, if not my favorite movie from 2023, it was definitely in my top 5. But moving on to something else that has been filming recently, we got our first looks at Barry Keoghan in the Peaky Blinders movie. We also have some looks here at Cillian Murphy, and he seems to be covered in mud and a little bit of blood, and starring next to him there is Rebecca Ferguson. And if you don't know her, she's in stuff like Apple TV's Silo. She was Timothée Chalamet's mom in Dune Part 2 and Dune Part 1. She's phenomenal. I really like Rebecca Ferguson. She was also in like Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, but she's phenomenal. So I honestly think that Peaky Blinders movie, I still need to watch the show fully, but the movie is probably going to be epic considering the cast they have surrounding Cillian Murphy. And Cillian Murphy's coming off his Oscar-winning performance for Oppenheimer, right? So, this is going to be fun for him, but I think he's also at the top of his game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some really crazy epic performances from that movie. So last weekend was a big weekend for news, and most of it was coming out of the D23EXPO that was held in Brazil. So some of this is just news that came out in the news cycle alongside that Brazil stuff, and some of it is Brazil news. But I will end today's episode with all the Marvel news and what Kevin Feige said taking the stage at the D23EXPO Brazil. But some other stuff that also came out that I want to talk about real quick. Ice Age 6 has gotten confirmed, and I didn't even realize that there was 5 of those. I mean, Ice Age 1 is iconic, but maybe I'll have to go do a rewatch of the remaining 5 Ice Age movies, because Ice Age 6 is on its way, and Ray Romano's back, John Leguizamo as Sid the Sloth is back, I'm pretty sure Queen Latifah's back in there, so very interesting to see them all coming back for some voice acting roles. Speaking of voice acting roles, our boy Aaron Pierre from Rebel Ridge, and now cast as Jon Stewart in the Green Lanterns TV show, he is going to be voicing Mufasa in the new Mufasa movie coming out December 20th. And that, I don't know if I'm going to be seeing that in theaters, maybe when it comes out at home. I don't even know if I've seen the live-action Lion King yet. I heard it looks phenomenal, but I heard the actual story sucks because there's no real like personality and heart in it like there is the cartoon animation version. And the cartoon animated Lion King is phenomenal, so there's no reason to do anything else, you know what I mean? But speaking of phenomenal, Avatar 1 and 2 are some of my favorite movies of all time, so here is our first look at some art for Avatar 3, the Fire and Ash Avatar movie that's going to be coming out in December of 2025, I believe. This movie looks like it's going to be legit. I mean, we had the first movie was them in the jungles and flying and learning that whole thing. Second movie was teaching us about underwater and the water people and the Metcaine people and not just the Navi people of the trees, so it seems like we're going to have, the people we met in the first 2 movies now come along, and now we have set the characters we're going to follow, and now this is just going to be introducing a villainous group, potentially, because it seems like they have planes instead of just, like, flying banshees. These ships look legit, but to me the water is what I've loved the most about Avatar. Like the colors, right? Like it's not just black and grays, you know, like there's so much color. We've come so far from black and white movies. Like look at the colors in this image. Like it's just so beautiful. I can't get over these movies, man. So good. But also really good was ANDOR Season 1, and now confirmed, you might have seen it on your Disney Plus whenever you open it up now, ANDOR Season 2 is officially coming April 22nd. And I believe Season 1 had 12 episodes. So I believe Season 2 as well has 12 episodes, and it will take place over the remaining 4-year gap that they need to cover to get to where Rogue One started, where we met Cassian Andor in Rogue One. So I believe the structure that they're doing is it's 12 episodes, but every 3 episodes another year will pass in the 4 years. So by the time you get to episode 12, all 4 years have passed by that time you get to Rogue One. And between Cassian Andor and Stellan Skarsgård in this show, I really fell in love with this show. It's phenomenal, and it's criminally underrated, and people haven't checked it out yet because it's maybe doesn't have lightsabers, and oh, it's not going to be that good. Or people watched 1 episode and they were like, oh, I didn't like it. Go fuck yourself. Watch the entire first season and tell me that's not one of the best Star Wars content shows ever created, regardless of lightsabers. Like, it's phenomenal to live in that world with Andor and those people. Like, so good. Can't wait for Season 2. Speaking of the second of something, the Hogwarts Legacy game has been confirmed by the WB people in Peaky games that their highest priority after Hogwarts Legacy sold like 1 billion copies or something crazy like that. Hogwarts Legacy 2 is in the works and being worked on currently, although I have no idea how long that will take until this game comes out. But hey, I've just been rewatching the Harry Potter movies recently, so I might reinstall a Hogwarts Legacy and play that all over again. I know I really liked it the first time, but I know for sure I got to the end of the game and there was so many side missions to do, and I just didn't do any of them. Just closed the game and moved on to the next. But Hogwarts Legacy 2, are you excited for something like that? Another Season 2 potentially in the works, Moon Knight Season 2, which I've been really craving and wanting for. Apparently the idea for Moon Knight Season 2 was so good that they have upgraded this show into a movie. Now, is that an upgrade? Is that a downgrade? I don't know. You get to spend six episode, hour long, potentially, you know, so you get to spend 6 hours with the character in a show, or you get to spend 2.5 hours in a movie. I don't know, maybe the movie's higher quality, but I don't know. I like Moon Knight as a show. If you have to do it as a movie, I'm not mad, as long as Oscar Isaac's back, F. Murray Abraham's back as Khonshu, you know, those type of things. Ethan Hawke, you know, maybe he comes back. He was phenomenal in Season 1. So I'm very curious to see where that goes and who or what, you know, happens next with that. But big casting news. Last week I was talking about how Tom Holland was cast alongside Matt Damon in Christopher Nolan's new film that we don't know anything about yet, but also cast now Zendaya and Anne Hathaway have been cast in Christopher Nolan's new film. So it looks like Tom and Zendaya are going to be side by side starring on screen together in a movie that isn't Spider-Man 4 in Christopher Nolan's new film, so that's kind of cool. Also right now, Robert Pattinson and Zendaya have been filming a movie in Boston right now, so I keep seeing tons of images of Tom and Zendaya hating life as paparazzi and people take pictures of them because they've gotten way too famous just to be walking about the streets of Boston without anyone recognizing them. But alright, let's get into the D23EXPO Marvel news coming from Brazil, and Kevin Feige took the stage and said that he would really like to see Miles Morales come to the live-action MCU, which is awesome. But he also said that he's going to be in the 3rd Beyond the Spider-Verse movie, and then hopefully to make his appearance in the MCU short after that. So cross your fingers, we're going to get a live-action Miles Morales, maybe in Spider-Man 4. That would be cool to me. But he also addressed the rumors about the X-Men and Blade. He said about the X-Men that the X-Men will be very important to the events of after the Avengers Secret Wars, and that the mutants probably won't play a big role in Secret Wars themselves, you know, as far as I'm speculating. I think genuinely you'll get people like, you know, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine back. You'll probably get a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man back. I mean, I feel like that's just, they need to occupy the screen at the same time, and that's what they want. But I would personally love to see the Fox X-Men versus the Marvel Avengers. You know, like, I would love to see the Avengers versus X-Men and have all that nostalgia, you know, bring back all the people that we loved from Marvel now and bring back all the people we loved from Marvel then, you know, like Nick Cage's Ghost Rider, you know, all the Fox people, you know, even Blade, bring back Wesley Snipes again, you know, have all of the, maybe even Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, but also maybe the other X-Men First Class group with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. You know, like, you could really do something with that. But I don't know, maybe potentially not getting the X-Men until after the Avengers Secret Wars. But I think we're going to get a completely rebooted X-Men after Avengers Secret Wars. But beforehand, why can't we do a little nostalgia? You know, that Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart can only last so much longer. They're getting up there in age, you know, so I want to see them one more time as their characters, you know, and hopefully interacting with some other characters that we've never gotten to see them interact with. You know, like, it was cool seeing Professor X interact with the Scarlet Witch, but now the Scarlet Witch is dead. I don't know, she's gonna come back, but like, how, where? Like, I need her back like yesterday. I don't know. If you haven't seen Agatha all along, go check out those breakdowns on the channel. They've been phenomenal. And if you've been watching The Penguin, stay tuned till later today for the Penguin review coming out and breakdown of the finale of The Penguin. But moving on to the next topic that Kevin Feige addressed was Blade. And he said, we are committed to Blade. We love that character. We love the version that Mahershala Ali has of him. I can say that the character will reach the MCU. Now, that is very smart of him to say and beat around the bush and not give us a direct answer, but still also, hey, we're very happy with where we're going, and we love what Mahershala Ali's doing with the character, but they know what he's doing with the character, even though it hasn't filmed yet, and it's not had a director, and keeps losing directors and writers, and all types of drama around that movie. I don't know. I've never seen a Marvel movie so hard to lock down and make, you know, like, I feel like they've made things that should have never been made, and something like this that should be made has just been in development hell for the last 5-10 years. Crazy. But Kevin Feige says after 2025, the output, the genuine level of output that they're going to be putting will be less, and it will be about 2 films and 3 movies a year. Although 2025 is an exception because all of the projects that are releasing next year, they had already had ready for release. So we're going to be getting things like Ironheart that's been on the shelf for a couple years. We're going to have 3 live action TV shows, Wonder Man and Daredevil Born Again. We're also going to have 3 animated shows, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, and Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, formerly titled as Spider-Man Freshman Year. And then we're also going to have 3 movies next year. Captain America Brave New World, Fantastic Four First Steps, Thunderbolts. You know, so after 2026, it looks like they're going to be going back to 2 movies a year, 3 series a year. So we're going to have 3 shows, potentially some of those animation, some of them live action. Or this is maybe separate from the animation altogether, maybe. So maybe we're going to get 3 live action shows, 2 movies per year. Either way, 5 projects a year, that's a pretty good number. And 2025 is going to be stacked though, so stay tuned for tons of content coming your way. Speaking of content coming your way, What If Season 3 comes out in December, and I believe is doing the day per day release date like they did last Christmas time, and I believe it drops December 22nd. It goes to like the 30th and does 8 episodes per day all the way through until like New Year's type of thing. But we find out that What If Season 3 is going to be starring some very interesting characters like Uatu and multiple other Watchers. Kahori is back. Some mech suits will be in an episode. We saw like a Captain America mech suit. White Vision will be in there. A giant ice giant Loki will be in there. Storm will be in there, wielding Mjolnir. I didn't know I needed to see that, but now I do. And then also from the Eternals, Arishem the Judge will be in there? I don't know. For a final season of What If, this seems like it may or may not connect into the MCU much more than we thought. But Storm wielding Mjolnir? Like, comment below. Do you need to see that happen as well? Like, Storm is Lady Thor? Like, she can already control lightning, but I can only imagine what she could do with that goddamn hammer. Like, but just to end today's episode, there was 2 trailers that were also released for D23EXPO Brazil, and that was the Captain America Brave New World trailer, and there's also a new poster that is comic book adjacent, you know, and has the Hulk punching Captain America's shield, and this one, it has the Red Hulk punching Sam Wilson's shield. Also, Captain America, just, you know, distinction, he's not Steve Rogers, but I love Anthony Mackie, and this looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't believe this is going to be Valentine's Day. We get some new looks at the Hulk, all big and ferocious. It's awesome. I'm going to play just a quick little 1-second, 2-second clip.
You want me? Come and get me!
Oh, the Red Hulk looks great. He gets angry, throws a car at Sam. If you want me, come get me. And Sam does a flip and the wing cuts the car in half in slow motion. It looks so good, and they're in the DC Apple Blossom or Cherry Blossom district. That just looks great. But then also there's a Thunderbolts trailer that dropped, and that one was really good, and that one was more like a special look. We got to see like a whole scene of that scene where Bucky's chasing them down in that limo. And we got to find out more about what the Thunderbolts are like and what their team dynamics are going to be like. And I'm super excited for that movie. But trailer reactions to both of these things will be coming out tomorrow, Tuesday, so stay tuned for those. But later today, the Penguin finale breakdown will be coming out, so stay tuned, y'all, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.